Hey up, it's Friday afternoon, it's micturating down and it's time for guitar at day. So what we got here then? Well, this, ladies and gentlemen, is a 1996 G&L George Fullerton. And you can see the man's signature there. Now, for those of you who might not know this, George Fullerton used to work with Leo Fender at Fender in the 50s and 60s, and he was one of the guys who was instrumental in the design of the Fender Stratocaster, as legend has it. And he was one of the few people who worked in the management of Fender who could actually play the instrument. And Leo Fender notoriously couldn't even tune a guitar. And people used to sneak into his office and tune whatever he was bashing on while he was testing things to open chords, so it wasn't quite as teeth-rattlingly discordant as things normally were if you just got something in there and started hitting on it while he was testing pickups. But anyhow, George Fullerton was the G of G&L, and after Leo Fender died in about '92, they switched over to producing the G&L Legacy, and then sometime after that, or '95-ish, they decided they'd do something a bit more traditional than the Legacy, and they named it the Fullerton. So this is essentially G&L's take on a vintage Strat. So the main differences between this and the G&L Legacy I demonstrated a couple of videos ago are that unlike the Legacy, it's got standard Fender Strat type tone controls. One volume, two tones, and the tone doesn't work on the bridge pickup. That's it. That's the difference. Originally, when they launched the Fullerton, they put a vintage 50s style V-shaped neck on it, but this one doesn't have that. This has just got a C-shaped neck. It's got a 3-bolt joint, and unlike my ASAT and my Legacy from the same year, this one has got a silver 3-bolt neck plate. So obviously when whoever was bolting it together reached into the parts bin, that's what he found. Actually, that's not strictly true. It's also got a different serial number series. This is called, it's got GF and then a number, as opposed to the other ones that had G for guitar and B for bass. So, you know, they were using what they had at hand. So, we got non-locking spurs and machinettes, one-piece maple neck. That has been split down the middle to install the truss rod and then glued back together again, then the frets are installed. So you pretty much got, you know, one piece of wood here. There's no skunk stripe for the truss rod, but there is a truss rod in there, honest. You can see it down the end there. Good old G&L dual fulcrum vibrato tailpiece. This is one of the later Fullerton models, so it came with the G&L CLF pickups. Very early models actually came with Seymour Duncan Alnico Pro 2 Strat pickups. Now, this one has actually got a Fender 57 vintage reissue pickup in the bridge position. That's because the original died on me, and that was the only pickup I could find. As I mentioned earlier on my 57 vintage reissue video, I had a bad year for for Strat bridge pickups in about 1999, and I had to fit whatever I could find here. The guitar market here was in a real bad shape, well, as was most of the economy, so there wasn't a lot around, wasn't a lot of choice around. So how's it sound? Okay, well, here's the neck pickup. I'm going through the clean channel of my my Lady IRT Studio. Wash my hands this morning. Right. One thing I've got to mention about this guitar is that this is the only guitar I've currently got tuned to E flat. The reason for this is that a while back I went to change the strings, and this originally had 9-gauge strings on it. I decided to put a set of 10s on, put the 10s on, tuned it up. Of course the bridge was out of balance, flipped it over and couldn't get the back plate off because the screws had rusted in place. 2 of those screws are completely immovable. Then I discovered that if you tune down to E flat, you've got exactly the same string tension as if you're on 9s in standard tuning. So, this is in E flat. It's got a 5-way pickup selector. This is neck and middle. Middle. Middle and bridge. Bridge on its own. Try it with a bit of drive. Again, going onto the crunch channel of the Laney IRT studio. On the bridge. Bridge in middle. Middle on its own. Middle and neck. And the bridge and the neck pickup. One G&L George Fullerton from '96. Again, I bought this from Combo Mix Music in KL in 1998. This is one they actually found at the back of the warehouse, and they put it on sale for 1,900 ringgit, which at the time was exactly $500 US, which for what was at the time the most expensive guitar in G&L's range was a pretty good deal. As I said earlier, I've swapped out the bridge pickup on this guitar. I've also had to have all the pots changed because I took this thing out of its case once, and guess what? All the pots were seized up solid. This is something that happens randomly in Malaysia. You'll put a guitar away for a month, pull it out of its case, and the pots have just seized. And there is absolutely no rhyme or reason to it. You'll get a really cheap guitar with really cruddy, tiny little pots on that doesn't suffer at all, and then you've got a guitar that's got CTS pots on, and they die, and you've got another guitar that's got CTS pots on, and that's absolutely fine. What can I say? Malaysian climate kills guitars. Anyhow, that's it lads, guitar at day. See you later.